How's it going, fellas? Zodiac Leader 635 on Gemmy Master Animatronics. And as you guys can see, I was undergoing a restoration on some other Santa right after I got done with this one, but this won't avoid me from making a review. So, this is a Santa Claus that walks. I don't really know the name. I don't really know even what box it comes into. But first time I saw this Santa Claus was in 2016 in a video that was from 2013. So, you know, it already has its time. And I'm not too sure when this one came to Argentina, to be honest. I have a feeling it must have been 2013, 2014 at most. It already has a few years, that's for sure. So, this thing had a bunch of issues, and just when everything was fine, I found a very crucial issue. So let me go ahead and, first of all, recap on what it all had. So when I first got it, one piece was off the camera. One of the side pieces must have been this one. It was off the camera. You could see the wires. One leg was broken, but not broken off. The little piece, like, what would be this? What this would be pretty much. And ironic enough, it's the exact same side as the leg that's broken on this musical walking Santa that I'm fixing right now, which is this leg. It's basically this one, the first leg. It had the broken loop where the knob spins and makes it move, so it would lose. It couldn't stand up. It would try to walk and it would fall. One of the arms was broken, as far as I remember. One of the because the arms actually have two linkages. One that's just screwed, and it's more of a piece just for the hand to keep its trajectory, like up and down like that, but 90 degrees, not go up like just go up straight. That's what I'm saying. And the other, of course, is grabbed to it was attached to a square shaft, and of course this side was broken, so that was something I had to fix. So this arm was loose, nothing was moving, the arms were not moving. The flashlight would occasionally light up, but that was it. It would just, move one leg and occasionally light up and sing Jingle Bells. So, first of all, before I even go into further details of the repair, I'm going to say that this has the exact same chip, the exact same face, and the exact same body shells as a Santa Claus that I will review in the near future. Definitely in a few weeks, at most. And it's this one Santa that I have that goes on a ladder. It's my most popular video on my personal channel. I don't know why. It goes up the ladder, and when it gets to the center of the ladder, it turns, and then it goes down the ladder, turned. So that's gonna have to be shown and and reviewed in another video. But anyways, it has like that, so it's fairly compatible. Even the same, everything. The same back shell, front shell, battery compartment, button, everything. Anyways, the mechanism, of course, is different. It has different feet. The feet have these plastic wheels that are just like what a bell ringer would have. And I'm talking about the way they lock because, of course, for the people that know, usually these things came after robot toys, so more than likely they are a derivative of even the musical walking Santa Clauses. And there's a large difference on 99%. I'm not sure yet, but most of the walking Santa Clauses that use the same principle as robots have a stopper, a way of of stopping the wheels from sliding back that is different from the robots, because the robots have a piece that is laying on the wheel, and as the wheel has those special teeth, what basically happens is the piece when the wheel tries to go backwards, it just how's it called, it locks onto the straight part of the wheel. And that's a very, very, very reliable mechanism. These have another one that is kind of a piece of shit. It does its work, but it's kind of a piece of shit, because what you have is a wheel that is not on on just one place, but it's rather grooving around. It has a slot where it goes into, and when the leg does this to the back, What basically happens here, which doesn't seem to be happening here, meaning that something may be broken. Oh man, okay, no. What basically happens is the wheel itself locks into the tab. Into a tab that's at the front of the slot. So again, it sucks just because when the Santa Claus goes, when the Santa Claus does that, there's no guarantee that the wheel will instantly move to the front. So, in each step, it kind of loses a little bit of the step movement, meaning that with another system, it could walk better. Same deal with this one, it could walk further. Anyways, as I said before, it has that for both front and back wheels, just like any other bell ringer, meaning that it goes like that, but then it locks when the wheel goes to the back. When the foot, goes. And of course, wheels are plastic. Shit. I don't like plastic wheels. I personally don't like plastic wheels on these things because unless you put them on a piece of cardboard or something, they are not going to walk properly. So if this one doesn't walk properly, then you've been warned. Anyways, right before I even get to this, once again, gonna go now with the deeper pieces of the repair. So this is basically how it used to be. It was dirty. As usual, the face, the clothes, everything was slightly dirty, dusty. So again, that's why I'm saying it's not that old, but it's not that recent either. It's, what am I saying? It is recent. It is a semi-recent Santa Claus, but it's not pretty old. It's, it's the beard, you can still touch it and you can still go through the hairs. Usually when the Santa Clauses get older, your finger will get stuck in between the curls. That's how you can tell that your Santa Claus's beard is getting bad. Anyways, another thing, of course, that I forgot to mention is that this one has slight discoloration on this side, just on the, what would be the knuckle of the hand over there. Right there. You guys can see the pinkish, and then you can see this sun discolored pink. Must have been that they put it next to either a light or something for 2 or 3 occasions, and that's what happened. Of course, this is all it did. There you guys can see the light was broken, and when you turn it on, you see nothing moves. The thing just came off from there. Now that's supposed to be screwed. It falls, and the second time it falls, the first piece comes off. The other piece comes off. So again, works like shit. Nobody would want that. So I started just, looking in how the thing was and everything. Of course, you guys can see the hand is tilted down because this piece was the one piece that was broken from the square shaft. Now, there's a speaker socket in the camera, but as you guys know, or as you guys will know, the speaker is on a hole on the side of the body of the Santa, just like the one from the ladder, which is pretty shitty. I'll say that. Either the recording, the way they put the speakers, just crap. It sounds like shit, but anyways, here is the body shell from it. And this is, as I said before, the exact same body shell. Reason why I'm saying that, because there's an opening right here. Well, then again, here's why I'm saying that. You can tell because, again, that there's an opening over here where in the other Santa, there's a whole spring-loaded mechanism that makes the arms turn to one or to other side and not stay in the middle. Again, that's going to have to be shown very soon. Yeah, I'll have to do a lot of things about it. So, this one, another thing that I found very interesting is that on the musical walking Santa Clauses themselves, the way you hold the shafts in place is you have these nail-type shafts, and you have this piece that clicks onto the side, onto one of the sides, so it keeps them in there. In this case, what you basically have, I don't know if I'll be able to show it completely, is a piece that goes over the shaft. Like, you have just a standard shaft. And, let me just see if I can show it. There's the shaft, and you guys see there's, these pieces on the sides. That's actually an entire piece that's screwed on the top of the foot. And you basically just put it in there, and that's how they are kept. They don't move to any side. So they just stay there. Again, a lot of things. Here's the square shaft fit for the arm. This is the piece for the arm that was broken on here. That's like the top linkage. The top linkage is the one that moves. The bottom linkage is the one that keeps the direction. So there's that. Here's the piece that fell off, which is the slot for that leg. Again, here's the mechanism, and what else do I have to say about it? There's a bunch of things. You guys are gonna think that everything in this mechanism is all right, but let me tell you, there's a little issue that will be shown later, because that's a major mistake. Of course, you guys can see here the missing piece that came off that's supposed to be like that. And again, now that I gotta show this is kind of a bell ringer mechanism. It's not, but it's kind of the exact same working principle, yeah? It has the selected gear, which goes up and down. Of course, resting position is always when the spring is not in use, when the spring is not pressed, as I say it. It's can't remember the fucking word. When the spring isn't being you don't have any pressure on the spring, and this usually on these means moving the arm, which is in this case the bell. It rings the bell, and then it goes up like this, and it makes the Santa Claus walk because it hits this gear that's attached to the rod, and the rod turns, the feet move, sha-la-la, sha-la-la. The same deal goes here. Now the gear, as you guys can see, it's up, and if it wasn't up, it would be touching this gear on the back, and this gear would be touching a square shaft gear, which has a square shaft knob, of course, that goes on the back over there and attaches to the arm lever. Here's the other problem. The little piece that attaches to the shaft to make to make the entire shaft move was broken completely. So somebody must have forcibly moved this. They literally forced the arms down or something. And here's the relay. Now you guys may see the relay and be like, oh, that's really cool, and then the relay. Let me show you that it's not that. So here we have a better photo, a better shot of how the thing was broken. Here's the chip, here's the speaker. What else? Here's the bottom piece, which is only screwed to the casing of the mechanism, and the top linkage is the one, as I said before, the square shaft one that moves. Belt driven, belt is perfect as usual. Why did I even take this picture to begin with? There was something. Maybe I just wanted to see the orientation of the chip and the capacitor and everything to, make sure that I would put it back together fine. And here's the total layout of pieces that were broken and needed repair. As I said, leg, arm piece, and arm. A few more pictures here and there, and here is where shit breaks loose. The fucking relay was corroded out of nowhere. And look at my finger. You guys see how black it is? That's the plastic of this relay. That's the melted plastic of this relay. No, it wasn't heat. I don't know what exactly it was. It was maybe some corrosion due to moisture or something. I'm not really sure, because again, there was no corrosion on this thing related with batteries or battery acid or anything. I changed most of the wires, but there was nothing related to that. The contacts were perfect. But I don't know if it was, due to moisture or something. The metals got this acid coat on, some garbage like that, and they actually melted this piece of plastic. So that's why you guys can see that this one's now really moved to the back when it should be in the front. And of course, here's the square shaft knob. Here's how fucked up the thing got. Look at all that plastic. That is melted plastic. I don't know how. It's just like when rubber touches plastic. Well, now you have the acid or some kind of corrosion touching the plastic, and that was just not good. So I had to look for another. You guys see my fucking fingers? This is just terrible, and this is not burnt. This is just a chemical reaction of some sort. And of course, what does this relay do? I forgot to mention. If you guys saw any videos of this, it lifts up the arms and the light comes on by a brief second. That's basically what happens. The lever has a peg. Of course, more pictures. And here is the issue. So by the time I took this picture, I was like, okay, I'll change the relay. I changed the relay and everything. And I reassembled, I glued the legs and everything. This was actually today. I glued the legs, I glued the pieces, I glued everything, and I didn't really reassemble it, but I reassembled the mechanism to see how it went, so to see how it held the camera. It held the camera fine until I tried moving. I stopped it a little bit to see how strong it was, and it started grinding, and I'm like, what the fuck? So there was an issue over there, and it wasn't an issue caused by me. It was an issue caused by the fucking person that forced the arms. So as I said, the resting position of the gear in this case is when it lifts up the camera. It lifts up the camera like this, up and down twice, and then it continues the walking. That's what it does. So the square shaft gear that I set that had the square shaft knob that pretty much had the lever that would move the arms up and down, and at the same time there would be a peg that would touch that relay. As everything was forced and broken, the first thing that happened was a tooth of the gear broke off. So what did I have to do? It was a 42 tooth gear, if I'm not wrong. I think it was a 42. I must have the gear somewhere because I did keep it just for, oh, here. 42 teeth, and as you guys see there, that's the tooth that was gone. So what did I have to do? I found a gear. I actually found a gear, replacement gear, but it was a round shaft gear. It wasn't, and of course here's just me taking it apart, taking the notes, everything that you guys know. Like at first I thought, hey, maybe it's just that the hole is slightly enlarged and the gear is slipping. It's what happens with the singing fish that have that one double functionality mechanism. But on this case, it was because somebody forced it and, a tooth snapped off. So I found this gear, which was exactly the same, 42 and everything, but it had a round shaft. And here's where the thing gets funky. I had to make a square hole in it. Yeah, I made a square hole. How do I do it? You first punch with a screwdriver that you know is the size of the square shaft. You basically just punch a little bit, you leave marks, and then you heat up the tip of the screwdriver and insert the thing through those marks. So you leave kind of a fit for a square shaft. After that, what you do, you grab the square shaft, you heat it up a little bit, and you introduce it, and you'll have to do it twice. You'll have to put halfway through the gear, and then you'll have to cool it down, take it off, take a little bit of the plastic residue, the melted plastic that goes in, it goes in the shaft's way, and it goes all around. You take that off, you cut it with an X-Acto knife or something, and right after that, you just continue doing the exact same thing. By the moment you're done, you're going to have this beauty, a square shaft gear that works like a charm. So, with this done, all the pieces with baking soda fixed up and all that bullshit, mechanism being reassembled, all the solder points remade, new relay, much better relay, and of course, heat shrink, because why not? Santa Claus is ready to take more selfies. Then again, it's not selfies, because that would be if it, forget about it. But it's just a stupid joke that I made. Anyway, so here we go with the Santa. It's first going to walk, then it's going to start moving the camera arms. That's supposed to be, if you turn it on from the default position, which again, should be with the gear like that, it should actually start by moving the arms up and down. So here we go. So as you guys can see, now it moves the arms and everything, and it walks fine. The thing is, of course, as I said, another really shitty factor about this is that there's a lot of back weight on the back. I don't know why. There's a bunch of back weight. You have the mechanism, the motor. Even though the batteries are generic, these are the actual batteries that were with it. The batteries were still fresh. Don't ask me how. The batteries were still completely fresh. These are the good old reliable Macau batteries, I think. Got a pretty big story with these batteries. Macau batteries are pretty good. They last a lot, so just a heads up on that. Anyway, here we go again. So that's practically it, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.